നമസ്കാരം. പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി മോദിയുടെ നാരീശക്തി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന മുദ്രാവാക്യത്തിൻ്റെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒരു പദ്ധതിയുടെ പ്രതീകവും അത് യാഥാർത്ഥ്യമാക്കുന്നതിനുള്ള പ്രധാന വകുപ്പുകൾ കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യുന്ന മുഖവുരകൾ തീരെ ആവശ്യമില്ലാത്ത ശ്രീമതി സ്മൃതി ഇറാനിജിയാണ് ഇന്ന് ദ ബിഗ് ഇന്റർവ്യൂവിൽ നമ്മോടൊപ്പം ചേരുന്നത്. സ്വാഗതം ശ്രീമതി സ്മൃതി ഇറാനിജി. ജന ടി വിയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. നമസ്കാരം.
നമസ്കാരം.
So we'll go straight to Amethi because that's from where you're coming back. 52 years, half a century. That's when you landed there. And I've read somewhere that you were sad, you were angry, you were frustrated by what you saw. So what did you see in Amethi, and after 5 years, what are we seeing in Amethi?
I think what was said about Amethi is that it is the bastion of the Gandhi family for 5 decades. Hence, there was a presumption in the country that an area which is a Lok Sabha constituency, just being the bastion and continuously so for 50 years, means that that area must be so developed, it must be racing ahead as compared to the rest of the country. When I went to Amethi in 2014, I just had 22 days to fight my election. I saw that there was no collectorate office, there was no medical college, there was no, let alone MRI machine, there was no blood bank, there was no dialysis machine, there was no police line, there was no fire station, and an area which said that we are the bastion and the stronghold of the Congress party, not having the basic governance structure was in itself a big shock. As I served Amethi, I realized that they, in a population of around 25 lakh people, 80% people lived in mud houses or in homes which were not formally built. We saw that in the first 5 years of the Modi government between 2014 and 19, the pace at which toilets were built, we had pakka toilets and kacha homes. And that is what became the Amethi story, especially editors who came to Amethi in 2019. They themselves were shocked that how come a place which boasts of Gandhi political lineage can have mud houses? How come 80 to 90% of its population lived in financially challenging circumstances? In the past 5 years, we have managed to build the collector's office, the police line, medical college. What would shock you is that 30 years ago, the Gandhi family took close to 30 acres of government land at the rate of 600 rupees.
For?
And they claimed 30 years ago that they will build a medical college. What they ended up building was a guest house for their own foundation where they could stay, a plausible, half ramshackle eye hospital, and never built the medical college for which they took the land. And I also realized that the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, of which the board members are Priyanka Vadra, Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, they would start taking pockets of land across, especially land near highways, especially land near prominent places, and usurp it in the name of the foundation. A factory was to be opened in the name of Samrat Cycle, a bicycle factory. Suddenly, the industrialist who takes land for the bicycle factory declares bankruptcy. And suddenly, land which is to be used for commercial and manufacturing purposes gets taken by an NGO led by the Gandhi family, which cannot commercially use it but usurps it. So Amethi became this whole quagmire where land was taken by the Gandhi family in the name of development, usurped for personal use, and people were led astray on just pure emotion, and they were not given the basic governance and rights that they so desired. In the past 5 years, we have built 1,14,000 homes. Now imagine if there is 4 people per family, which means that over 4.2 lakh people, 4,20,000 people never had a home. How is it possible that 4 lakh people do not have a home in a bastion that the Gandhis claimed was their family?
And we were told, look at Amethi, we will develop your area like...
Thank God, not many people fell for it across the country. Now in Amethi, for the past 5 years, we've built around 4 lakh toilets, which means that if per family there are 4 people, again 16 lakh people out of a population of 25 lakhs never had a toilet in their own homes. we gave water connections to 3.5 lakh families. Now that means again over 12 lakh people did not have clean drinking water. So a place which boasted of a political dynasty called the Gandhis, for over 10 lakh people did not have basic bijli sadak pani. There are 40 villages which were for the first time connected by road after I became an MP. Over 1,20,000 homes received electricity for the first time when I became an MP. The question is, what were they doing for 50 years? So now when Rahul Gandhi suddenly announces, Wayanad is my family, I'm like, hey Bhagwan, somebody please go and see what he did to his so-called family in 50 years that his family was there.
No, we'll come to Wayanad, but there was this interesting story that I read you have told. This village called Pibri, is it called
Yes.
Pibri? Where the villagers decided to boycott that particular
Yes.
elections, but you stayed on, you said?
Yes, Pipri is in a
tell that
place
story.
called Halyapur, and the story of Pipri was that for close to 40 to 50 years, with flood waters, their agricultural land would get washed away. And they kept petitioning the Gandhi family and the local government that they needed an embankment built so that their lands don't get washed away. More than 1/4, 2/4 of the lands were already washed away. So when I went in 2014, they said, we are very tired of Rahul Gandhi. He's an absentee MP. He does not help. He does not listen. And that's why we decided we won't vote. They said, we are sorry, but we've just met you. And we don't believe that democracy works because we've seen how the Gandhi family operates. So I made a promise to them that I win or I lose, I'll come back and I'll help build the embankment. What is interesting is that between 2014 and 17, Uttar Pradesh had the Samajwadi Party, which is the Gandhi family, another political scion, Akhilesh Yadav, a partner in crime in the India Alliance, who was a part of, who was running the government in Uttar Pradesh. And for the life of me, I could never understand why could Rahul Gandhi, who was otherwise wining and dining with Akhilesh Yadav, not get this one problem of an embankment fixed. Mercifully in 2017, we had a BJP government that came into place. I petitioned the government then, and we then built the embankment in 1.5 years. So what was not done for close to 30-40 years, we managed to do it the minute BJP came to power at the state and in the center. And together we did it in just 1 year.
And 2019 people voted.
2019 is a consistent effort that we put in. I believe politics is a 24/7 dedicated service. You cannot appear election to election. You cannot appear only to make headlines and then think that you've politically arrived. You cannot take your voters or citizens for that matter granted. And even after the last vote is cast and counted, you cannot say XYZ did not vote for me, so I will not work for them. Prime Minister Modi has always said that no matter what happens after votes are cast and counted, I am everybody's Prime Minister. Similarly, for us as individual members of Parliament, that in itself is a direction as to what kind of politics we should do. So 2014 when I went, we did not even have in 60% booths a table put up. We didn't have people, and people would be too scared. I would not get a room to stay in. I lived atop a cement godown because nobody would give me a room. Nobody wanted to anger the Gandhis. And that is how we started our political journey in Amethi. By 2017, of course, we won handsomely in Uttar Pradesh, including in Amethi. Then came 2019. By 2019, we had around 20,000 karyakartas across all booths. Today, we have 95,000 karyakartas across all booths. Mercifully, now I have my own home in Amethi, so I don't have to beg for a place
Congratulations on the Griha Pravesh, which I had read. So this was one word you had given your voters, right?
Yes, in fact, I'm very proud to say that everything I promised in 2019, I've delivered on. I think it's very rare for politicians to find that space in their political journey where they say that everything, and I mean everything, I would go through every promise in every nook and corner, and we made sure that we fulfilled everything.
Now you have a new challenger, it seems. Somebody has staked claim for the Amethi constituency. Mr. Robert Vadra, it seems, says that he wants that seat from Congress.
You see, the arrogance of presuming that a constituency is just yours and you stake claim is very evident in that statement, as though it's a piece of pie that you would like to take a grab at. I think Amethi is more than a political destination. It's about the lives of people who believed in democracy and democracy delivered vis-a-vis dynastic politics, which did not. I'm very proud that Amethi today is that one example in Indian democracy. What happens when you vote for merit over dynasty? And we've managed to showcase that in just 5 years vis-a-vis 50 years of the Gandhi family. So if Mr. Vadra thinks that he can stake claim, one, it's an exhibition of his arrogance, and rightly so, of course, he's married into the Gandhi family. Why wouldn't he be arrogant? All I will say is that if he gets the ticket, then everybody in Amethi is going to make sure that they ensure that their lands are not stolen. We'll have to do a Zameen Bachao Andolan if Mr. Vadra comes to Amethi.
Now, this is part of a twin constituency, if one may say so. There is also Raebareli. Now, Srimati Sonia Gandhi has already moved out of the race and she's moved into the Rajya Sabha. And it seems they are still trying hard to find a candidate. It is
fantastic politically that for the first time in the history of electoral politics in India, the Gandhis are hesitant in naming candidates for Amethi and Raebareli. I've had the privilege of serving Raebareli as a Disha committee chairperson. Mrs. Gandhi was co-chair. In the 3 years that I served, Mrs. Gandhi never turned up for one meeting, not even digitally. We had offered that Raebareli is your constituency. Disha committee is a committee where all public representatives, NGOs, bureaucracy meets so that the needs of the constituency can be serviced and served. Unfortunately, Mrs. Gandhi even electronically never joined a meeting. So I think that there is a presumption on the part of the Gandhi family that they can take people for granted and people would not have a better option. Amethi showed, I think, showcased to the Gandhi family that people do have options and those options do deliver. And I think that is the reason why she decided to withdraw from Raebareli. Yes, there have been exclamations made by the Congress party. She did so because of her health. But touch wood, she's been healthy enough to roam the country and to present herself in every other political, I think, program where publicly she has been viewed. Why she could not find the time for Raebareli is a question only she can answer. But she looked fairly healthy when she was roaming the country and the world. I can only say this, that the fact that we did as Karyakartas so well in Amethi is the reason today Raebareli is under pressure.
Now coming to Wayanad.
Yes.
It's one aspirational district in Kerala. So I was also going through the guidelines of Niti Aayog where they very clearly mention certain factors like health, education, water, nutrition. It seems this aspirational district program was tailor-made for Wayanad. But I haven't seen much happening, and you handling a crucial ministry which will address...
I came to Wayanad only to do meetings for the aspirational district. In the Prime Minister's Council of Ministers, all ministers, apart from their own constituency, did look at the additional responsibility of collaborating with MPs, especially in aspirational districts, so that if there is some help needed, we can help, and irrespective of the politics of the MP. And that is the kind of outreach the Prime Minister was doing, given that aspirational districts are districts where we found that there have been challenges on certain parameters and they need to match up to national standards. What is astounding to me is that Mr. Rahul Gandhi would not find time for his own district on matters where you can better the lives of citizens in Wayanad. And that for me was a shocker, because I thought that post Amethi he would have learnt that people demand accountability. Unfortunately, I believe that even now the Congress party does politics of comfort and numbers. Wherever they think that the demography is suitable for them to win, they start taking that demography for granted. And that's a point in case with regards to Wayanad.
Now, Wayanad district is one case and Wayanad constituency is different. Wayanad constituency cuts across 3 districts. Yeah. If you look at Wayanad constituency, there is a specialty to it. It has about 42% of Muslims, about 18% Christians. And of course, the Wayanad district have tribals now. You handle women's welfare, child development and minorities. How many cases, how many schemes, how many proposals have the Wayanad
I
MP
think
come up to you or
never. Wayanad MP has never spoken to me. Never spoken to me. Possibly written one letter of some time, but never spoken to me. And that letter came after I came to Wayanad for aspirational district meeting.
I would not go into the details.
He asked possibly 1 or 2 questions in 5 years, but I don't think he barely spoke about Wayanad. I, as a Methi MP, am very proud that I could speak about my constituency in almost every parliament session, especially in the budget session, because I think MPs, why to talk about their constituency? That's the responsibility that people who elect us into that position expect us to fulfill. But no, Wayanad MP has never spoken to me on issues with regards to Muslims or with regards to women or children, with regards to the constituency Wayanad, ever. Never spoken to me.
This is a printout of the summary of initiatives taken by the Wayanad MP. I will not go into the details. He has written 5 times.
To whom? To me?
He has written, no, to union ministries and state government for rehabilitation and post-flood reconstruction work.
The issue is, are you voting for an MP or are you voting for the Postmaster General? Who will dish out letters? The responsibility of an MP is to walk up. We've done it. I've done it. I've been in opposition. I've been a Rajya Sabha MP for 2 terms. And when the Congress was in power at the center, I never just wrote letters. I walked up to ministries and ministers during Parliament, off Parliament, spoke in Parliament. So if, as election approaches, if he thinks I can just write and that is how my responsibility is fulfilled, then the people of Wayanad need to consider that did you elect somebody to write letters or to work?
You've been sent to Wayanad on a very, very important day as far as the local...
I haven't been sent.
DA.
I've been invited.
You've been invited. So that sends out on 2 fronts. One, your very presence, does it unsettle and make Rahul Gandhi nervous?
I have no idea.
On the other side, this also sends out another very broad message in the serious sense.
I think
Amethi to Wayanad.
I think Wayanad was never a choice for Rahul Gandhi. It was a compulsion in 2019. One has to be very clear about that. And it was a last-minute compulsion. It was never a first choice. Similarly, Amethi is not a choice for Rahul Gandhi anymore. Amethi may become a compulsion for him. And if what you're saying, Mr. Vadra has said, then maybe he's giving Amethi a miss. I have no idea. But Wayanad was a compulsion for him. It was never a free will or choice. And possibly he looked at the demography of the voters and then possibly made a choice. Now he says Wayanad is family. So Wayanad was not family in 2019. Now suddenly Wayanad is family. Issue is, can you be an absentee son? And can you change families? You're born into a family, you die with that family. Can you suddenly say, oh, I considered Amethi a family 15 years and then I didn't like that family, I come to Wayanad and I found a new family. So I think that it is politically juvenile to presume that the voter doesn't know better. That I can lie in Wayanad till the vote in Wayanad is cast and people in Uttar Pradesh or Amethi or North India will not know what is happening here. I think the juvenile presumption that I can take help in Wayanad from PFI political leadership and nobody in the rest of the country will know. Again, it's childish to say I can hide Muslim League flags and nobody will know that I have Muslim League support. Again, is very childish. So I believe that if you try to hoodwink people, and especially the voter knows better. The question is, Muslim League should wake up and smell the coffee. Now Rahul Gandhi is embarrassed by them. And Rahul Gandhi, who possibly took an oath during his nomination, needs to answer to people of Kerala and the rest of the country that if you take an oath of allegiance to the Indian Constitution, how can you then take support of the political leadership of PFI?
We'll come to that also. Just what are the parallels between Amethi and Wayanad? We see many.
Now there aren't any. We got rid of our problems.
Well, 2014 Amethi and present day Wayanad?
We got rid of our problems in 2019. One of the biggest roadblocks to development was a gentleman called Rahul Gandhi. So we got rid of it.
Tips for Sri K. Surendran?
I came to Wayanad today so that my karyakartas know that beating the Gandhis is not an impossibility. When I beat Rahul Gandhi, when I went to fight Amethi in 2014, Sonia Gandhi was the chairperson of the UPA, and Akhilesh was in power. Samajwadi Party was in power in Uttar Pradesh. I didn't go when things were hunky-dory for me. I went when I was in opposition completely. When I went to Amethi, again, like I said, in 60% of my booths, there was no worker. People were too scared. When I went to Amethi and I made Rahul Gandhi lose in 2019, I was just a normal karyakarta of BJP. Rahul Gandhi was the national president of the Congress party. So if a simple karyakarta can go to the bastion when the mother is in charge, when the friend has power, go there and defeat the national president of the Congress party, anything is possible in any constituency. You have to be consistent, you have to work. You may win, lose, but you have to carry on. People recognize potential, people respect dedicated service, and that's what Amethi is all about. That democracy delivers if you keep believing, if you keep engaging, and if you keep contributing.
Now the elections are nearing, and now the union government, the BJP, are all out hunting the opposition leaders, the chief ministers, using ED, using income tax department, using CBI. Arvind Kejriwal is already in remand.
Now, I need to. There were 9 summons given. Mr. Kejriwal chose to disregard 9 summons. Those 9 summons were not given just before the election was declared, or just when the election is around the corner, or when the model code of conduct is imposed. 9 summons dating back last year. So if Mr. Kejriwal chooses to ignore summon, disrespect agencies, that's his choice. It does not reflect on the BJP. It is not an agenda set by the BJP. Summons are given for you to appear. Prime Minister Modi, when he was Chief Minister, was summoned by an agency. He went. There was no tamasha done anywhere in the country by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Amit Shah went through the rigors of law, where the Congress party, then in power, tried to deliberately engage him in false cases. Amit Shah did not cry every day, and his family did not do press conferences every day with his photograph in the back. They didn't do all that. Everybody complied with law. Everybody went through the rigors of law. So now what is perplexing is that Arvind Kejriwal will ignore 9 summons. Arvind Kejriwal will indulge in liquor scam. Arvind Kejriwal's companions would have Supreme Court observations on them. The 338 crore rupees was siphoned off in the liquor scam as per the Supreme Court observation when Manish Sisodia applied for bail. So is the Supreme Court wrong? Is the Supreme Court vengeful?
The narrative, even in this part of the country, is that democracy is overshadowed by ED. There was a huge title.
Like I said,
headline.
Is the Supreme Court not right in its observations? Do people feel Supreme Court is politically coloured? Will anybody in Kerala, in the UDF, LDF stand up and say this about the Supreme Court of India? Supreme Court of India has found 338 crore rupees scammed in the Delhi liquor scam. Now the Supreme Court is not the ED, it's not the CBI, it's the Supreme Court.
We've had a big picture in one of the most popular newspapers here, wherein one wife is hugging another wife. Both of them are in remand following ED investigation, and the title is
Corruption cannot be romanticized. And anybody who is romanticizing corruption is romanticizing the loot of the taxpayers' money. You can hug anybody you want. I mean, I've also said today in Surendranji's nomination rally that people are hugging in Delhi and begging in Kerala. And the India Alliance will suddenly start hugging in Delhi, but when it comes to Wayanad, they're suddenly begging each other not to fight. Doesn't make sense.
It's already in the social media. It's already gone. Well, now coming back to the performance of the MPs, leave aside the Wayanad MP, but there are like 20 MPs from Kerala, all non-BJP, non-NDA. But how much have they done, as there are several schemes available for the MPs to implement?
Kerala has had mismanagement of funds as per Supreme Court observation. Kerala has seen scam after scam, including scams in the cooperative sector, where every party has done some scam or the other. So you have the Malappuram scam, which is done by, I think, the Muslim League. In Wayanad, the Palpalli bank scam is done by the Congress party. Then there's a Kalari bank scam, which is done by, I think, the CPI. Yes, right, yeah. and the other one,
Karuvanur in Thrissur.
Karuvanur is done by the CPM. So it seems that everybody who's a part of the alliance has had some piece of the corruption action. In Kerala, the gold smuggling case and all those cases notwithstanding. Now, what is the hallmark of Kerala? Misgovernance? What is the hallmark of Kerala politics now? An alliance that is broken to begin with? And my question today morning at Wayanad still stands. Who is the prime ministerial candidate of the opposition? Nobody knows. What does the opposition stand for? Nobody knows. So we don't know Neta, we don't know Niti, we know Niyat. But we are on the verge of the first round of voting. And what does the opposition stand for? Divisiveness? What does the opposition stand for? Abusing Modi? What does the opposition stand for? Modi has a plan for 2047. The opposition doesn't have a plan for 2024.
Now, are you also aware of the fact that several of the central government schemes are repacked and renamed?
Of course, that's what the opposition does. Why only Kerala? West Bengal also does it. That you can't be Modi, can't beat Modi, so copy Modi. And repackage what is Modi's and try to sell it off as yours.
You led a delegation to the holy city of Medina.
Yes.
Along with Sri V. Muralidharan, who was from Kerala. Tell us about that experience.
I think this is a hallmark of the Prime Minister's relationship in the GCC in the Gulf countries. We were very, very honored and privileged when we were invited. I went with Muralidharanji because we wanted to look at preparations for Hajj, especially given that the Model Code of Conduct would disallow us to take any administrative decisions at a time where administrative decisions are needed so that the Hajj pilgrimage can be structured effortlessly. And that is why we wanted to prepare in advance, and me and Muralidharan sir, we went. For me, I think it is a momentous occasion because you can reach the doorstep of God only when God allows it. So I think that I'm extremely lucky, blessed. Might be one of the very rare people who has had the opportunity to be at the Vatican and at Medina, and I'm a devotee of Mahakal, and I've been to the Golden Temple. So I think God has been very, very kind to me.
The SDPI experiment in Kerala, SDPI declares support for the Congress and the UDF. And then we have the Thiruvananthapuram MP, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, saying that it's not just in Thiruvananthapuram, it's across the state. Then we have the acting...
Basically, Mr. Tharoor is saying, I'm not the only one taking support from terrorists, everybody else.
And the acting president of the KPCC say, evading the question, straight
No,
question.
I think you should be very vehement. I have no shame in taking the Bhagwa flag. I have no shame in saying Jai Shri Ram. Why are they shameful? If they're taking the support of the PFI political leadership, they should not be ashamed of it. If they are taking support of the Muslim League, why are they hiding the flags? And if you're so shameful, that means that you know it's sinful. Then why do it to begin with?
Now, we've had a press conference by the UDF leaders, including Mr. V.D. Satishan, who is the opposition leader, and the acting president of KPCC, saying that we're not taking support. We're not accepting their offer.
Too late. Everybody knows that the wheels have been set in motion. Did he make a clarification as to why he did not take the Muslim League flags out? What was he trying to hide? So that when Rahul Gandhi is done with Kerala, he can come to Uttar Pradesh and say, oh my God, now I'm visiting temples and I had nothing to do with the Muslim League. That's what I'm saying. He genuinely believes, this is juvenile to believe that people won't know. That people sitting in Uttar Pradesh would not know what is happening in Wayanad. That people sitting in, let's say, Delhi would not know what is happening in Kerala politics. That people sitting, let's say, in Himachal or in Uttarakhand or in Haryana would not know what Rahul Gandhi's friends said about Sanatan Dharma, let's say in Tamil Nadu. People know. People are informed. Hence, you have to be monumentally juvenile to think people won't know. Let's hide it. It'll be a masterstroke. I believe that's what they say nowadays. That there'll be a shock and awe. He'll suddenly come. I'm like, oh wow. It's as though people are not tuned in.
This is exactly what Mr. Gaurav Vallabh has also written in his resignation letter.
I have no idea, but
yeah,
well, I guess. No, that's because every day, I mean, you were doing your reportage in Kerala. Every second day, I have some journalist calling me from Delhi to say, today we were summoned to the Congress headquarters and told, Smriti Irani ko we'll suddenly shock her, we'll suddenly come to Amethi. I'm like, oh my God, I'm very shocked. That's childish. Can you imagine? Childish politics. And every day, those journalists will call and say, but today we were called specially to be briefed that Smriti Irani will be shocked. He will suddenly come. I'm like, oh my God.
Now, what is the USP of the present government?
Narendra Modi, he delivers.
So now we talk in terms of tangibles, like number of dams, but number of bridges built.
There is not a soul. There is not a soul in this country who will say it does not deliver. It delivers. He delivered on 4 crore homes. He delivered on capital expenditure of 10 lakh crores. He delivered on Vande Bharat. He delivered on support for science, especially National Research Foundation by putting up 50,000 crores for it. He delivered on not only building IIMs and IITs. In fact, I had the privilege of building one as Minister of Education for the state of Kerala. He's also made sure that across, be it the education policy, the skilling initiative, or for that matter, the Namami Gange project, there is not a project that has been initiated by him that has not fulfilled its obligations or not fulfilled his targets. For instance, Lakpati Didi. Now, he spoke about building the economies in terms of scale within the self-help group movement in the country. Across 9 crore women who are a part of self-help groups in the country, they've received over 8 lakh crore rupees directly from the Modi government in the past, let's say 7 to 8 years, which has ended up making 1 crore women Lakpatis. Now, when was last time in our country a woman becoming a Lakpati, a national ambition? He's done that. So his early ambition was, let's have 2 crore women as Lakpati Didis. Now he's enhanced it to 3 crore women as Lakpati Didis. That's because he's already met the target of 1 crore. So there isn't an agenda on which he's not delivering. He, like I said, he has a plan for 2047. The opposition can't scrape together a plan for 2024.
No, you don't have to depend on, cliched claims like, this and that. Now we have numbers coming in, like the latest in terms of the record in GST collection.
Yes.
Then the projection about growth, not by Indian agencies, by international agencies, actually supporting what we have claimed or even getting better.
I'm glad the Janam TV says that the only people who don't see it is Rahul Gandhi and gang. They say they don't believe in Atmanirbhar Bharat, which means that they don't believe in the economic sovereignty of India. They don't believe in Make in India. That means they don't believe in supporting small-scale industries in India, which has the manufacturing capacities to become mid-sized companies and help grow the economy fundamentally across all levels. The Congress Party and its allies don't believe in it. So when you talk about numbers by international agencies, the only people who are feigning ignorance are Rahul Gandhi and his unholy alliance.
No, we have had prime ministers, we have had governments. How tough is it to work with Sri Narendra Modi ji? And what is the difference?
If you're honest and hardworking, it's not tough to work with him. He's a taskmaster. He will remember everything. He'll remember everything from today and 20 years ago when he last met you. If he has given you an assignment, he will remember not only the assignment, but also how much of the assignment you could do. And if you could not do a part of the assignment, why you could not do the part of that assignment. And he will also watch whether you have redeployed your agencies, your brains and your resources to kind of meet the gap, or re-look at a problem from a different point of view and create a new creative solution for it. So he's always watching, you're always learning from him.
Now, we've had the number of BJP MPs, the number of NDA MPs doubling, tripling, but the bureaucracy or the officers have remained the same. I mean,
yes,
subject to the retirement. But How
That's
does
what
the
the Prime
performance-
Minister says, that I'm the same, system is the same. We have to learn to work within the system to make sure that the system then improves itself and delivers on what the people desire. So he does not believe that bureaucracy has to be totally aligned with you. As long as bureaucracy works on principles of law and within the constitutional maryada, he says that's how one should work.
Now, you have expressed, a little bit of concern or your disappointment a few years back that you don't see many women scientists in senior positions. And I think now you must be happy
Prime
with
Minister
it.
is fixing it. I think what he has done, especially for women in this country, is mainstream the women's agenda. Earlier, women's agenda was an agenda of empowerment. People used to talk about how they will empower and emancipate women. Prime Minister Modi has tectonically shifted the narrative and said, if you want the country to develop, you need to make sure women are equal partners. He has done this not only in India, but also internationally. If you look at the G20 presidency, Prime Minister Modi's insistence on mainstreaming the women's agenda is the first time in the history of G20 that the women's agenda became a part of the main table. It's the first time in the history of G20 that now we have a working group for women and young girls. And that is Prime Minister Modi's contribution to women across the world.
Now, Nari Shakti is not another to be cliched
Nari
slogan.
Shakti is, for some people, a cliche maybe, but I've seen Prime Minister Modi at work since 2002. I'm one of the rare people because I was nominated to Rajya Sabha by him from the state of Gujarat. So I worked with him now 22 years. And I've seen him as Chief Minister Gujarat when he started the work of ensuring that the girl child is educated, that female infanticide is fought, that self-help groups again. We did a program called Mission Mangalam, where finances were ensured for self-help groups. So Prime Minister Modi's women's agenda, the Nari Shakti agenda, is not a new one. It's an old promise he has made with regards to equity and equality in society.
If you go back to his early days as Prime Minister of India, when he made his debut, so to say, he was ridiculed for, being a frequent flyer.
Yes.
I mean, nobody then had the vision to see that this will come back one day. These flights became flights inward, right?
I think Prime Minister Modi is not deterred when he is humiliated or mocked. He works to a plan. He knows exactly why he's putting in an effort in a particular direction and how that will fructify for the betterment of the country. If Prime Minister Modi was to be dissuaded by humiliation, he wouldn't be Prime Minister. If you remember in 2013, the Congress party mocked him. The chaiwala can never be Prime Minister. So this is an unstoppable administrative good governance machine. He's not deterred by humiliation or slight remarks.
And you just can't force him into, doing stereotype things like when a war becomes between Russia and Ukraine, the whole concept was you suddenly take a stand.
He's somebody who takes a very firm stand. And for him, what is of great importance is national security or the well-being of the nation or Indians per se. Other than that, he has no other priority in life. So he is known to be very, very determined. I've seen him in action in being very, very officious about his determination. He is not somebody who cuts corners. He is not somebody who compromises on national interests at all. Even if it means stopping a war to get Indians out.
Now, a man, very, very interesting one, a man who was ridiculed or for not having a parivar, now suddenly he's playing the most key role, one in terms of welfare of every parivar, and suddenly the Modi ka parivar or Modi ji parivar
I think
slogan
the fact that I have seen his political journey up close for over 2 decades. I've seen him as Chief Minister and then as Prime Minister. His country is his life. His country is his family. He verbalizes it now. He's never verbalized it before. He has lived every moment of his life as I have seen him, completely dedicated to how to make things better for people. And he's always thinking of what to do next. So he's not somebody who, after achieving a particular goal, is satisfied enough to say, okay, now let's sit back and enjoy the the achievement per se. He's somebody who knows that we as a country deserve better prospects. He knows as a country we are a talent pool that the world has never seen before. We are a force of nature to reckon with. And he is insistent on ensuring that every Indian gets an equal opportunity to leverage that talent, contribute to nation building, and do better. Because he knows that a stronger India is a great global force.
You've had your share of sledging, of personal attacks, from the moment you started taking, especially on the Gandhi family. How did you, manage it professionally, personally?
I keep beating them. That's the only way to manage it. I think that there's a lot to learn from my boss, the Prime Minister. He doesn't get deterred. The only difference is that I am many a times attacked in a very sexual way by the Congress party and its leadership. But I think it's a reflection on their character, not mine. More and more of the misogyny of the Congress party now has come to the fore. But I believe that particularly women are attacked in such a fashion so that they can be deterred from their political path. So I take it with a pinch of salt. I think that the fact that I beat Rahul Gandhi when he was national president is a history that nobody can repeat. No national president of the Congress party will ever dare fight a simple Karyakarta of the BJP so arrogantly. And I think that for the rest of my life, as long as I'm alive, the Congress party will make sure I pay a price for it. So I'm ready, and I'll keep beating them.
We've seen a surge in the activities or the energy levels of the Mahila Morcha in Kerala. You now have 5 candidates from the NDA,
Yes.
which is 1/4 to 25% of the total number of seats here. What will be your message to them? Because you have come through now as an icon for them, may it be fighting politically.
I think female leaders are not icons only for women. I believe that just like Modi is an icon for men and women in this country, I believe that we should not impress upon women to only be examples of female leaders or female Karyakartas. I also believe that as women activists of the BJP, we are very proud of the fact that ours is the only party which is led by a man but has delivered on the 33% reservation. Whereas the Congress party led by a woman could not manage to do this. So that is our greatest joy. People like me who have worked in the area of women's rights for 25 years. For me, the most emotional moment was when Prime Minister Modi in Cabinet decided that he is going to bring the bill for 33% reservation. I was very emotional that day because I saw 25 years of my work and struggle, and many seniors before me who had struggled for this agenda. I came to such a pass where I realized how happy they must be the minute this announcement is made. So as women workers of the BJP, we are very proud. Our Prime Minister, our political leadership delivered on the 33% reservation. We are equally elated that my party could do 3 of the biggest historical decisions in this country. One is, of course, the 33% reservation. Second is Article 370 revocation. And third is the building of the Ram temple within constitutional Maryada. I think that is something all Karyakartas, irrespective of being men or women, are elated about.
One question I missed was, there was this new narrative of cutting South. There was a section of South Indian leaders and the section of the media holding seminars, coming out with this theme, like, the North is, discriminating. So,
well, you have a finance minister who's from the South. You have a foreign affairs minister who's from the South. 2 prominent cabinet portfolios. The parliamentary affairs minister is from the South. So I think that for too long, the India Alliance has benefited from politics of division. Either it's division of caste, class or region. I think it's all falling apart now because everybody now realizes the BJP has more members of parliament as compared to the Congress party from the South. I also believe that, thank God for social media and a digital age where now more and more information is available at the click of a button. I also believe that parties, especially let's say in Tamil Nadu or in Kerala, are facing the brunt now because people are better informed and they're asking questions that needed to be asked. The only issue is, will they get the answers they deserve?
So cutting edge won't cut much ice.
Depends on who's cutting the edge.
Now, You're here on electioneering. You'll be going back to your constituency and other constituencies. Your one message to the people of Kerala, 20 constituencies in Kerala.
The country knows Modi is coming back to serve as Prime Minister. Why waste your vote on the Congress party? That's my message. Don't waste your vote on the Congress. They don't believe in nation building. They believe in breaking the nation. Vote for the party that is building the nation. Vote for the party that is ensuring good governance. Vote for BJP. That's my only message.
I know you've had a very hectic schedule here. Thank you very much for talking to the people of Kerala through Janam TV. Nandi, namaskaram.
Namaskar. Thank you for the conversation.